Hello everyone, and welcome to Shell Point Today for Thursday, March 31st. I'm Dan Philgreen. On today's show, fitness coordinator Hannah Hosterman will talk about an osteoporosis workshop. And we'll look at a local folk music association that involves some of Shell Point's residents and employees. But first, we want to remind you that tomorrow is Friday, and that means that it will be time for the Friday Marketplace on the island. Come take a leisurely stroll through the courtyard while shopping for locally grown produce and other unique items from local vendors. It's a great way to spend time outdoors and to chat with your fellow residents. The marketplace takes place from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. Tomorrow is also your final day to check out all the beautiful photography displayed in the Resident Activity Center. The annual photo contest and show will be coming to a close, so make sure you stop by there. Even if you've seen all the photos already, they are definitely worth another look. And speaking of exhibits, the Shell Point 2D art exhibition is coming up in late April, but now is the time to register. To enter your painting, drawing, sketch, or collage, registration forms will be available at either service desk beginning April 2nd through April 9th. For more information, contact Beth Crenshaw at 454-2290. You can join fitness coordinator Hannah Hosterman for a 45-minute osteoporosis workshop. There are 4 12-week sessions that you can participate in, and the first begins on April 4th. The class will focus on postural education, using stretches, strengthening, body mechanics, visual imagery, balance, and proper nutrients. To tell us more about the class, here's Hannah.
Hi, my name is Hannah Hosterman, and I'm a fitness coordinator here at Shell Point. Today I'd like to talk to you about my new Osteo Break Free program starting April 4th. In this program, there are 2 different sessions offered, Mondays and Wednesdays at 1:45 and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2:45. Osteo Break Free is not just for those who have osteoporosis. There will be a special consideration for those who do have osteoporosis, but anyone is welcome. In this class, it's all weight-bearing exercises, so today I'm going to explain what weight-bearing exercises look like. I'm demonstrating some of these exercises today with a chair just for those who may feel like their balance might be a little off. The chair can stabilize them just a little bit. So I'm just going to demonstrate a basic bicep curl, standing up, holding onto the chair. You can also do marches, squats, leg curls, and shoulder press. Moving on to the step right here, I'd like to show you some exercises that you can do that are weight-bearing, working on balance, and lower body strengthening. Simply step up, step down. You can also do some lateral steps. Step up, step down. There are also weight-bearing exercises that you can do on the mat to strengthen the core. Hands and knees, leg kicks, bird dogs. These are all great exercises to incorporate a great Osteo Break Free program. Please join me Mondays and Wednesdays at 1:45 or Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2:45 for Osteo Break Free here in the Turpin Room. Thank you.
You know, I really love guitars, and if you like guitars, then you're going to love what's coming up next.
We have a story for you that is a bit unusual in that it involves Shell Point residents, employees, and the surrounding community. And it happens to involve me personally. I've enjoyed folk music and singer-songwriters all of my life. It's usually 1 or 2 people playing an acoustic guitar and telling stories through tunes in an earthy sort of way.
Day by day, it's one more baby step down this long road that I run.
In various towns where we have lived, my wife and I have searched in vain to find ways to enjoy this kind of music live. But about 5 years ago, my neighbor, Klaus, told us about house concerts that were going on in the homes of 2 ladies here in Fort Myers, Alice and Trish, and of a new organization that was being formed called the Americana Community Music Association. We checked it out and were delighted with what we found.
I tell you what we need to do. Remember that above the clouds, the sky's always blue.
House concerts are the best hobby I've ever had. It's a way to bring music and friends into your life and in a small venue have the best music that you've could possibly hear.
Another neighbor of mine, Roy Schneider, who does music full-time with his wife Kim, provided the inspiration for the new local association.
Out of house concerts, when I first started doing house concerts, Roy Schneider was my very first house concert musician. His friends and family came, and from that beginning, the ACMA was born. Trish said, why don't we do this in a public venue? And we talked about it and got some people together, and that's how the ACMA came about.
We started the ACMA to expand the house concert, more or less, into more of a community thing. With the house concerts, it's very private and intimate and small. You can't get as many people interested in it as you can in a public venue. And so it kind of was born from that.
So it was a love of music, a love of friends, a love of fellowship, and we have house concerts and we have the ACMA.
Well, when the ACMA started, we were one of the first shows there, and it was so great to have a place, a public venue where people come, and their main reason for coming there is to hear music. You know, that they're not there to drink and eat and socialize, and there happens to be a musician. You know, that's the wonderful thing.
We really appreciate this. It is so nice to have a place to come where people actually sit and listen.
This is all about the music. That's like their motto. So, and it's true. It's 100% true. So that makes it an extra joy.
And as a singer-songwriter, you really appreciate having someone listening to the hard work you put in to make some type of statement. And it's a real joy to perform in front of an attentive audience. It's a pleasure.
It's a place that's dedicated to the preservation and inspiration and advancement of original music.
Over the last 5 years, this local grassroots organization has been growing steadily and has sponsored an amazing number of concerts.
The Americana Community Music Association is a not-for-profit, volunteer-based organization, and we're committed to supporting original independent music and musicians, and we want to expand the community appreciation of Americana folk and roots music. But one of the main purposes of our listening room, which is where you are tonight, is to provide Southwest Floridians access to high-quality and original performers of Americana music. And you will get that tonight, I guarantee it. We host here anywhere from 2 to 4 concerts a month, and we host both touring and homegrown musicians. And homegrown are our local musicians who are semi-professional. They may have another job, but they may also make money at writing songs, and there's some very good local musicians out there.
I inhale your presence again.
It is incredible because it matches an audience up with musicians, creative musicians, and it produces an artistic environment that you just don't normally get.
We retired here like a year and a half ago, and we had no idea what we were going to find. What a gift. It's really a great thing, and we really enjoy it a lot.
It is absolutely a joy to experience, and we come every week whenever we can.
This is our first time, and we are really enjoying it. We used to live in North Georgia, and this music was all that was up there, basically, and so it's made me homesick. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Well, we had no idea a music venue like this even existed, and we're glad to find out. Thank the Bartletts for bringing us. I think the word needs to get out. Not enough people know about this type of thing.
Bill and I were talking in the library one day about this kind of thing, and he said, well, you all have to come see this. And here we are, and we're enjoying.
I'm sure people at Shell Point, where we live, would love it if they just knew about it. So maybe this will help get the word out. I think they'll enjoy it.
I'm starting to understand it more after talking to the people. Evidently, even the real professional musicians come in here and really devote their time to this at a low fee just because they too want to promote this type of music.
Gave out above mansions, ancient floorboards sag.
Actually, I think probably most of them would know me from Adam, and yet they said and they listened, and that is my favorite audience. Honest to God, my favorite audience. I really love it when people buy my records and come back to see me and stuff. But what I especially love is people who've never seen me and like me anyway. You know, that's like the best thing there is.
There are a few music venues where this is possible, and it's like going to church. You can hear a pin drop until the song is over, and then it just erupts. That is a wonderful experience.
The only thing I wanted to add was that the audience, the ACMA membership, is made up of musicians who think of themselves up there themselves. So they're not going to make lewd noises or anything like that because they're projecting a lot, I think. A lot of us are thinking of what we'd be doing up there if we had our guitar with us, if we started playing our guitars again. I'm not supposed to have said that, so.
There's great artists, and we love seeing the local people who open up for the traveling acts. So we always have a great night here, and we're members.
I think that is wonderful, and it also allows people to get up on stage who thought they never could, and even if they never carry it further than that, it allows people to have that experience without just dreaming about it.
It's a true community that has developed. Shell Point employee Bruce Gallant is another who has found a place for his music at the ACMA.
I've been a songwriter for a long, long time, and coming from New Hampshire, there wasn't a lot of opportunities for the kind of music we play. Coming down here to Fort Myers, happened to be looking through the newspaper one day, and I saw a little ad that said Singer-Songwriter Circle every Sunday at the All Faiths Unitarian Church on McGregor. All were welcome, all levels were welcome, so I decided to go one day, and it was the best decision I made as a songwriter to do this, because I met all kinds of people. I ended up finding out it was sponsored by a group called the ACMA, because through this organization I've met many people, found many opportunities to play out. They have schedules for open mics, they have all kinds of shows, concerts and stuff, and what's interesting, what's really nice about their concerts is they bring artists from around the country and folk music artists, and they use local people for the opening acts. So myself and people like me who would normally not have such an opportunity get to open for these other acts, and that's a really big plus. It's a really nice thing.
She takes me out to dinner. She buys me fancy clothes. I kiss her in the morning.
I play mandolin, and same thing, these concerts, we both get to play in front of people who actually enjoy the music, which is nice, instead of going to a bar where maybe not everyone's paying attention. Yeah, we just met a lot of new people, and everybody seems to have the same interests, and our group is just getting bigger and bigger, and you don't even have to play an instrument or sing or anything. It's just an enjoyable time.
And once a month we do go play at the second floor at the Pavilion. If anybody ever cares to stop by, they can check in the schedule at the activities for the second floor and stop by and give us a listen. It would be nice. It's a really enjoyable time. The people there really, really enjoy it. We play songs that they can sing along, and it's really a good time.
The ACMA has become the center of a thriving music subculture in Fort Myers. Besides the many concerts at the Listening Room, ACMA members can now be found playing all over town almost every night of the week. Several are hosting weekly open mic nights at various venues. The local press has begun giving regular coverage to ACMA events.
And it gets bigger and better each time.
So please help us spread the word. Bring friends, tell your friends, like us on Facebook. Believe it or not, in this day and age, that counts. And you can visit our website to find out a whole lot more about us. It is www.americanacma.org.
It's just a great bunch of folks, and I'm very happy that I was doing what I do and inspired people that much that they wanted to create a place that they could have live music, original music from real artists on a regular basis.
The ACMA is a wonderful asset to everyone in this area who enjoys folk music. If you happen to be someone who does, you have got to come out to a concert and check out the Americana Community Music Association.
Right here in Fort Myers. Wow. How cool is that?
Open up your heart, open up your eyes, open up your bones and let your soul feel the light of the sky.
And now it's time to take a look at today's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hello and welcome to the Happening segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Caitlin Van Scoy.
And I'm Bev Chandley.
We're going to give you all of Thursday's activities. Make sure you check your mailbox because a Shell Point Life will be delivered today. At 7:15 we have Bend, Breathe, and Balance in the Tarpon Room. And at 8 o'clock we have the Men's Golf Association meeting at the Shell Point Golf Club. Also at 8, Round Robin Doubles Tennis will be at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. Shuffleboard is available at the Shuffleboard Courts at 9:15. And current events will be discussed at 9:30 in the Woodlands Game Room. And 9:30 is the time for the ladies match play tennis to be at the Woodlands. Also at 9:30, the Paddlers Club head out for their weekly outing from the kayak storage. An introduction to line dancing will be held in the Tarpon Room at 9:45. We have a springtime tea and tour being held at 10 o'clock in the community room of King's Crown. Then we move to 10:15 for basic line dancing in the Tarpon Room. The Suzy Q heads out to Rum Runners or Fathoms for lunch. You do need to sign up for that, and it leaves at 11 o'clock. Here's Bev to tell you all about our afternoon lineup.
Thank you, Caitlin. At 12:45, Mahjong will be played in the Library Lounge on the island. Also at 1:15, we have Samba, the card game, in the Resident Activities Center. And then at 1:45, we have Fun and Fitness with Hannah at the community room of King's Crown. The Stamp Ministry will be in the Stamp Room at 2 o'clock. And our seamstress will be here at 4 for her weekly service visit. She'll be in the Osprey Room on the island. We have an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting in the Sable Room of the Woodlands at 4:30. And then 6:30, we have Pinnacle in the Library Lounge. The Trailblazers Bible Study Group will be in the Game Room of the Woodlands at 7. And our last activity of the day is 7:15 with Shell Point Singers Spring Concert at the Village Church. We're happy to see you here today, and we'll be happy to see you here again tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Thursday, March 31st. At 7 a.m., Academy on the Go number 6 will start court pickup on the island for Tour Southwest Florida Coast by boat. This is for those who have signed up. At 1 o'clock, Painting with the Palette Knife continues in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. At 1:15, How I Learned to Love My iPad for graphics takes place in the Technology Teaching Center on the island. Sign up is required. At 1:30, iPhone and iPad security options will take place in the Cove at the estuary. Sign up is required. At 4:30, Portugal, the first global empire, will take place in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands. Sign up is required. Today is the last day for the Spring Academy of Lifelong Learning. I'd like to thank everyone who participated. Please watch for your summer semester brochure in your Shell Point mailbox and online at www.shellpoint.net on Wednesday, April 13th. Registration begins the very next day at 8:15 a.m. at either service desk and online. I look forward to seeing you at an Academy class soon.
Menus for Thursday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is roasted vegetable lasagna with garlic flatbread and caprese salad. The dinner special is the Crystal Carving Board for $15.95, and the soup of the day is broccoli cheddar bacon. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a Western bacon cheeseburger with fries for $7.75. The dinner special is Thai night for $8.75. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill are New York strip with scampi sauce for $19.95 or grilled marinated swordfish for $18.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hi, welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm Andy Hawkins, the senior pastor of the Village Church, and today I'm here with Dave Nesselroade. And these folks all know you as Dr. Nesselroade. In fact, they should know that the first time we knew you as Dr. Nesselroade. Way back when. You were actually our family doctor. And look what the Lord has done in bringing us together. What a special blessing it has been, because we've been friends for a long time. Well, it's also a blessing that, as a result of what I do here at the Village Church as the senior pastor, I'm also the chairman of the governing board, which is a very significant elected board for our church. And you're the vice chairman of that governing board.
Yes, I am.
And so you were elected to the board, and then the board elected you as vice chairman. So we're here to actually talk about what is the significance of that board. We have a number of different boards, and we'll be talking about each of them in various weeks as the time unfolds. And this is, I think, a good occasion, opportunity for us to sort of get people aware of how the Village Church sort of functions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
so tell us a little bit about the governing board, what its role and function is in a church like the Village Church.
Well, the governing board, in my mind, functions sort of as the business, if you will, part of the church. I don't like that because it seems as though it separates the sacred and the secular and so on. I have a little analogy. I didn't run this by you. You may correct me later. But I think about when Jesus was found in the temple by his parents. And in the King James it says, "Didn't you know I must be about my Father's business?" I know other versions say my Father's house. But in that respect, I think we're the body of Christ and we're carrying on his business in the church.
Yeah. Well, I think that's important to recognize, and I think you're absolutely right, because we do, as a governing board, care for the resources that God has given to us. And, we've recognized that as a result, we're stewards. Now, we may think of it as a business, but stewardship is a very significant spiritual responsibility by which God gives us certain things, and we want to make sure that we use them most effectively for his kingdom.
I agree totally. And part of our doing his business, I think, is that we always, I think before any kind of important decision, we pray so that there's always a sense that we're about God's work and it's his house and we're trying our best to be good stewards of it.
That's right. Now, a typical governing board meeting will include what kinds of things on the agenda?
Usually we have, of course, reading the minutes, and then we'll have reports from you every month, and other pastors will have reports that we'll review. There's usually some old business that's carried over, and then some new business that we look into that could be about anything connected to the church.
That's right. And so when you talk about the reports from the pastors, so this governing board sort of oversees the activities that are under the general direction of each person who's a pastor of the church and all our different areas of responsibilities.
That's correct. You said it better than I could have.
And we also look at finances, don't we?
Yes, we do. And again, I think that's an important part of stewardship. It's not something most doctors are very good at, and so I don't come into it as a doctor. We pray about the finances too, in an attempt to be really doing the Lord's work as good stewards.
Yeah. Now, how do people get placed on the governing board?
There are, of course, the annual meeting when there are elections. I think there's so many elders that are designated to be on the board. probably the head of, or at least a representative from deacons and some of the other committees in the church are automatic members, the treasurer and so on. And then there are just a few at-large members, and I was one of the at-large members this year.
That's correct. Yeah, so it's an elected kind of office. And then I think the other thing that we should share about the governing board is that every local church, this is obviously a Christian and Missionary Alliance church because that's the denomination with which we're associated, every local church has to have some kind of governing authority, sort of the place where the buck stops. And the final fundamental decisions are made with respect to significant kinds of decisions. And that body is the governing board, isn't it?
It is, and I think you can think of it as sort of the checks and balances with the pastor and with the elders and so on, that we're all looking out for each other's interests. But I guess when it comes down to it, it does sort of stop with the governing board.
That's right. And then, of course, because of that, the appointment of a senior pastor, for instance, is ultimately the responsibility of the governing board and other members of the pastoral staff as well. And so the governing board has that kind of final authority to decide how the leadership will take place.
That's true, and especially this past year, it's been very interesting to work through about 4 positions, at least it seems, that were open, and subcommittees meeting and all reporting back to the governing board and finally finding the will of the Lord.
That's right. So it's really a very significant board made up of a number of elders and other office holders and having the sort of final governing authority of the local church. The other thing that I like to think about in terms of the local church, and it's a great blessing to me, is that the local church is governed by a plurality of people. It's not just one person. And even though I'm the senior pastor, I'm just one member of the governing board. I have one vote. And so I think that's a wonderful, I think, biblical way by which local churches are governed, that it's a shared responsibility of people that are spiritually qualified to serve in that capacity.
I agree, and it's interesting to me always to see the makeup of the board, and somehow it works out. There are people that are gifted in so many different areas that can bring their expertise to some of us who those aren't our areas, but together we can sort of ferret out what we feel is the truth and God's will for a decision.
That's right. Yeah. Well, it's a pleasure, as usual, to work with you, Dave. What a blessing you are to me and to our family, and also to the board and to the church. And it's exciting to be able to serve in a church where we have a group of men and women like this who are really overseeing the operations of the Village Church.
And I'm blessed to be a member of the governing board.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you for joining us on Village Church Connections, and we hope to see you soon.
And that's going to wrap things up for today's program. Be sure to watch again tomorrow when we bring you the weekend edition. And since it begins with April 1st, we'll have some very serious material to share with you. We would never take advantage of the notion that it's April Fool's Day now, would we? I'm Dan Philgreen, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.